Good morning. Welcome again to our Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Awards ceremony. My name is Sabrina Madison Cannon, and I have the pleasure of being the Dean of the School of Music and Dance. I'm here today with my colleague, Gabe Paquette, Dean of the Clark Honors College, and we have the pleasure of recognizing and celebrating our faculty and staff who exemplify Dr. King's commitment to inclusivity, social justice, and the power of light and love to drive out darkness and hate. Each year, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Awards are given to individuals who go above and beyond the call of duty to live out the values of Dr. King in ways that enhance the academic mission of the institution. This year, our awards are in 5 categories. First, the LACE Framework Award focuses on how equity, inclusion, and diversity work is done and the extent to which the work reflects the LACE framework: love, authenticity, courage, and empathy. Second is the Social Justice Award, which recognizes colleagues who have made significant contributions toward improving access and opportunity for faculty, staff, and students on campus by dismantling barriers as well as putting in place policies and programs to enhance opportunity and success for underrepresented populations. Next is the Ideal Institutionalization Award, which recognizes individual staff and faculty members who have demonstrated outstanding commitment to the principles of the university's equity, inclusion, and diversity framework. The Ideal Framework, through implementing diversity action plans beyond the scope of their respective jobs, areas of research, or administrative responsibilities. Our fourth award, the Institutional Transformation Award, celebrates the values of Dr. King by recognizing individuals, units, or groups of people on our campus who have come together in ways that transform significant aspects of the way our university works. Lastly, a new award this year is devoted to outstanding diversity practitioners. It recognizes and celebrates colleagues on campus whose primary responsibility is in the area of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and who have furthered that work in extraordinary ways. This year's Award Selection Advisory Committee included winners from last year: Michael Andreasen, Justine Carpenter, Rosa Chavez, and Barbara Marbury. This year's nomination pool was large and exceptional, and we thank the committee for all their time and efforts. At this time, I'm delighted to invite our president, Mike Schill, Provost Giant Banifar, and Vice President for Equity and Inclusion. Oh, you're all standing there already. Why is that in the script? Sorry. Our first award, I'm sorry, I guess I will say this. After each award is given, the honorees will be congratulated and photographed to the right of the stage. Our first award for the LACE framework goes to Nedzer Aralis, who cannot be with us today. Nedzer is Community Director for Barnhart Hall and Riley Hall. Nedzer has served as a Community Director in University Housing for the past 7 years, where he has touched the lives of thousands of students through a commitment to building a residential community that embraces equity and social justice. His nominator wrote this: "From heartfelt chats in the Res Hall Lounge at 10 p.m. to hour-long conduct hearings that feel more like therapy sessions, Nedzer constantly demonstrates his belief that every interaction can be an opportunity to make the world a kinder, more connected, more compassionate place. Nedzer not only embodies love, authenticity, courage, and empathy in all of his work, but he inspires his colleagues to reach for these qualities too. We thank Nedzer for living out Dr. King's extraordinary sense of empathy and generosity of spirit and heart." Our award for social justice category goes to Allison Gash, Associate Professor in the Department of Political Science. Professor Gash's career has been devoted entirely to civil rights advocacy and scholarship, focusing on how political and legal institutions respond to or maintain systems of inequality and disenfranchisement. Most recently, Allison was instrumental in helping guide the university's redraft of the multicultural requirement, including chairing a group which developed faculty training about difference and power. Her department chair in political science, Craig Parsons, wrote in his nomination, "In service, Allison's work to make UO a more inclusive and diverse campus has been truly extraordinary." Beyond her curricular work, she's provided assistance for students who have experienced instances of hate crimes on campus or who have been the target of biased behaviors, researched existing department and university rules and procedures concerning equity and inclusion in order to make them more legible, and identified methods for supporting the work of faculty and students, particularly women, people of color, and those who identify as LGBTQ. It is frankly hard for me to imagine a UO faculty member who could be more deserving of the MLK Award at this time. Thank you, Allison, for your devotion to social justice and all that you do to remind us of Dr. King's counsel that our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. It is my great honor at this time to pass the podium, I was going to say the baton, to Gabe Paquette, Dean of the Clark Honors College, to announce the awardees in our next two categories.
Thank you, Dean Madison Cannon. It's a great pleasure to be here to celebrate so many amazing contributions to our university community on the part of many of our colleagues. It's my pleasure to award the next award, which is an effort to institutionalize the ideal framework. And those awards go to Lisa Abia-Smith, Director of the Educational Outreach at the Jordan Schnitzer Museum of Art, and Rebecca Hagerwaite, Nurse Practitioner at the University Health Center. In addition to her work at the JSMA, Lisa is also Senior Instructor in the College of Design, where she teaches courses in arts management, which focus on disability studies, diversity and accessible arts curriculum development. And at the JSMA, Lisa has led the creation and implementation of the museum's diversity action plan. She's spearheaded initiatives such as exhibition accessibility, inclusive professional development, and mentorship for staff and volunteers alike. And what makes Lisa's work noteworthy is its broad impact on many different facets of campus and community life, as well as university processes. Jill Hartz, JSMA's executive director, wrote in her nomination, "Lisa's work goes far beyond the requirements of her position. And in the process, she makes the JSMA, the university, and our larger community more welcoming and equitable environments." So thank you, Lisa, for helping the university to respond to Dr. King's exhortation to create a true and inclusive community. Our second award in the Ideal Institutionalization category goes to Rebecca Hagerwaite, a family nurse practitioner in our university's health center. She's served as chair of the health center's Diversity Action Committee for many years, and she's led the effort to create a comprehensive multicultural toolkit for practitioners, which among other things provides guidance on cultural sensitivity, implicit bias prevention, and gender identity. And in fact, this toolkit has been a resource for other units on our campus, and recently Rebecca was selected to present that work at regional and national college health conferences. Her nominator, Kira Wilson, wrote that Rebecca's ongoing leadership in equity and inclusion is unmatched. She weaves diversity in her day-to-day work as a nurse practitioner, as well as in her personal life. Her efforts have changed the way the University Health Center approaches multicultural competence, and our staff, campus partners, and our student population have benefited from her knowledge and guidance. Thank you, Rebecca, for exemplifying Dr. King's compassion for and outreach to all. In order for diversity, equity, and inclusion to take hold, people at all levels of the university must lead change in courageous and visible ways. And our first Institutional Transformation Award goes to Suzanne Hanlon, Assistant Program Director for Student Activities. Suzanne has been a fierce advocate for our students, and she may be best known on campus for her leadership of the BE Series, a high-impact series of events, workshops, and mentoring sessions with inspirational speakers, encouraging students to explore their diverse identities through the interconnection of the personal, professional, and academic. Her nominator wrote of her work, Suzanne uses the BE platform to empower students, and her mentorship and encouragement continues beyond her regular job. I have had more than one student tell me that she helped them understand their strengths, believe in themselves, and provide constant encouragement through rough times. Suzanne is a shining example of a true ally and campus partner who uses her position of privilege to stand up for the goals of equity and inclusion. Thank you, Suzanne, for your unwavering commitment to building an inclusive university community. And our final Institutional Transformation Award goes to Danica Scott, Associate Vice Provost for Student Success. When Danica joined our campus a few years ago, she was tasked by President Schill to breathe life into his vision of student success on our campus, specifically to lead the effort to raise four-year graduation rates by 10% by 2020. And in her short tenure here, she has transformed the advising landscape on our campus. And later this year, when Tykeson Hall opens its doors for the first time, I think we'll be able to see, and it will be made manifest, her colossal efforts and leadership in this area. Danica's impact goes beyond championing the success of all of our students. Her nominator, Jessica Price, noted her ceaseless commitment to creating a welcoming environment for students, staff, and faculty alike. And I quote what she said here. Danica has endeavored to provide support to ensure the retention of underrepresented faculty and students, serve as a mentor to new staff, open her home to celebrate their arrival, and encourage members of the University of Oregon to pursue and stick with their dreams of advancement here in Eugene. So many of us are so grateful that Danica is here and that she has put in so much work to get us to come and to make us feel welcome enough to stay. Danica, we thank you for challenging and guiding our community to aspire and also achieve great things. At this juncture, it's my pleasure to welcome Vice President Alex Asenso back to the podium, who will introduce our Outstanding Diversity Practitioner Awards.
Thank you, Gabe and Sabrina, for your leadership, and thank you very much, awardees, for all of your great work and outstanding achievements. The Outstanding Diversity Practitioner Award is one that we're particularly proud to announce, as they are staff who are our DEI colleagues and I have the honor of working with more closely. This award seeks to elevate work that goes above and beyond the call of duty because of the depth as well as breadth, longevity, innovation, or its unusual effectiveness. Our first award goes to Steve Marazumi, who retired this past fall after serving an incredible 17 years as program advisor for the Multicultural Center, known proudly by many of our students as the MCC, a coalition representing and serving the needs of 26 different student organizations. Throughout his career, Steve was a fierce advocate for our students and promoted their leadership, development, and a sense of belonging on this campus, which has only recently seen trends toward more diversity. Steve is famously passionate about student and social justice causes, and over the years engaged the MCC in cutting-edge programming, bringing standout names and personalities to the university. Through this work, he helped create a pipeline of UO alum with an interest in social justice work who continue to remain engaged in causes for justice here and around the world. Our colleague offered the following sentiment about Steve, and I quote, "You cannot talk about advocacy at the University of Oregon and not mention Steve. For many UO families, student, alumni, Steve has had a tremendous impact on their experiences in classrooms, campus spaces, and across our statewide community. He's left an imprint on our campus that pushes the needle forward, and this legacy of and passion for social justice translates onward. We thank you, Steve, for your many years of service to our university and in particular to our diverse students. We wish you years of joy in your retirement. Please join me in congratulating Steve. Our second award goes to Candaris Hill, Multicultural Academic Advisor and Retention Specialist in the Center for Multicultural Academic Excellence, known as CMA, and Programs Associate in DEI's Campus and Community Engagement, known as CASE. Candaris has a long history of contributions to equity, inclusion, and diversity, dating back to his time as a student, because he's a double duck. Since joining CMA as a staff nearly 2 years ago, Candaris has worked indefatigably to build inclusive coalitions across student groups, helping to build a collaborative culture of leadership and professional development. Candaris has a deep commitment to equity and inclusion in higher education and has left a mark on the hearts of many. He consistently goes above and beyond in providing care, insight, and support for all students, especially our underserved populations. And even as a student at the UO, Candaris demonstrated tremendous leadership and courage, and we are grateful to have him on our team. As a testament to his commitment to our students, he was nominated for an MLK Award this year by no fewer than 6 student organizations. 6. One of his nominators opined, and I quote, "Candaris Hill is a gold standard of what a human being, especially those who aim to be an academic advisor, should be," end quote. I can think of no greater testament to your work than that. We thank you, Candaris, for your humble service in the image of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., and to our students. Congratulations. This final award is a surprise of sorts, and we are so grateful to Mrs. Brittany Lopez and the Lopez family for helping us to keep this a secret from our third awardee, final awardee in this category, Rafael Lopez. Rafael Lopez, program manager in the Division of Equity and Inclusion, joined our division a few years ago as a program associate and was promoted quickly to manage all DEI programming with campus and community partners. As a result of his outgoing personality, keen intelligence, and charm, the breadth and quality of our partnerships and programming have increased. Rafa, as we lovingly call him, can best be described as a linchpin, not only in advancing the work of our university and division, but to our spirit as a team of equity partners. He truly embodies the commonplace approach to driving diversity by inviting others to engage and bring their full selves to the work. Rafa's attitude, his humor, acumen towards equity and inclusion work transfers to all of our population served, and we value his many efforts and numerous contributions on and beyond campus. Rafa embodies the spirit of hard work and diligence with a humble spirit and gracious heart. He is truly multifaceted talents: program management, training, relationship building, writing, building across communities, on campus and abroad. Rafa, Martin Luther King Jr. said, and he wrote, I should say, quote, "Not everybody can be famous, but everybody can be great, because greatness is determined by service. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love," end quote. This could have been written about you, and we thank you for your grace and dedication to the importance of this work that we do together. Thank you. Please join me in congratulating our 2019 Diversity Practitioner awardees. Once again,